This is Dave from cheapbooks.com. I am playing the game Airline Manager 4. Over the past week or so, I discovered some things and I posted it in my forum. And I'm going to go through what I posted since October 11th. I'm going to give you some updates. So we'll start with the income and expenses. My income was 522,000, departing my entire fleet, which is about 183 planes, and the profit was 300. But recently, I've gotten it up to 675 million with 350 million in profit. Again, this is a fleet of 183 planes. Then I discovered I was not departing my entire fleet. I had about 20 or 30 planes that didn't have routes, and these were A380 800s. So I think I can make more money. In addition, a lot of my planes are low entry level planes that I'm just testing out to see how much money they make. I read a forum post where a guy said he makes 1.5 billion, but he has twice as many planes because he was using hangars, I believe. So I think I might top out over 700 million. We'll see in the future. Profit from flights. So this again, I posted today. I was getting around 70 to 72 million, 69 million, but now I'm getting 76 million, 74. This is more A380 800s, and I expect this number to go up higher. My highest number is 83 million, which is not posted over here. It's actually posted here. 85 I'm up to. So 83 was my previous, but I got it up to 85. I didn't do anything special to do this. But the way you do it is you try to get as many F class passengers as you can and fewer Y class, and um, you don't depart your cargo. I don't know if cargo makes more than passengers, but you want to get the F class up here. Okay, best routes. So I've been doing Chile and China. I found this one, 8104 for coach class. This is Ulaanbaatar. If you want to use Ulaanbaatar to Chile, you got to route it manually using the little menu. You can't click on the hubs in order to do the routing. So 8104 is pretty good, but I actually did better. This one is 8144. It's also Ulaanbaatar to Chile. I got a ton of routes from Ulaanbaatar to Chile that were over 8,000. I mean, it's got to be approaching 10. So I think Ulaanbaatar, like I said, you got to do it manually. It's a pain in the ass. So here's another one I found from Shanghai to Argentina, 19,990 kilometers. I went through all of my hubs, which is about 20 hubs, and I found the longest hub, and this is it. So what I'm going to do, you can do 600 coach, 300J, 200F class with an A380 800. And then, of course, I'm going to test it with cargo also. I am going to run one with coach. I'm going to run one with first and business, and then I'll do one of these. But I don't have any planes in Shanghai right now, so I bought two new planes. It's going to be a few days before I get them over there, and I'm going to have to fly over a cargo ship, and we're going to see how much money we can get out of this route, and that will be posted in a future video. High profit planes. I don't know if I got anything new in here. So basically, this was a conclusion I came to that the ATR aircraft in the low end, 122,000, very good because of the number of passengers that you can carry. You really want to carry the 50 passenger, you want the 50 passenger planes, especially if you're going to be departing throughout the day. Because you're excited about the game, you're probably going to want to get those ATR aircraft. So I also did some aircraft. This was obviously from September. I'm only going to pick one because let's look at the Concorde. So basically, this was the results after I flew the Concorde a lot, and I decided to dump it. The highest I made was 683, but remember, you can fly it like 4 times a day, or maybe I don't know if you can do it. You can do you can do six, which is 3 round trip flights. So you do 6 times 6, it's like 3.6 million plus. The Concorde makes money, but the problem is you can't buy. You have to spend more money on advertising because the other flights are 12 hours and your advertising was run out. You got to purchase more advertising just to run a few Concorde flights. It's not worth it. So I did the Lineage, the 747-8, the IL 96-400, the Praetor 500 Concorde, etc. And what I did was I put the numbers down. The Cessna only carried one passenger, first class, and he made the same amount of money. This plane, I believe, cost $50,000. And I seem to recall that when you look at the fuel cost, if you buy it at 500, you break even. Because this, let's say it's 6,000 and you divide it by 500, you're getting half. Is that the correct number? Because it's 500 per 1,000 pounds. So if it's 6,000 pounds, the 6 over the 5 or whatever. It's, you know what? The low end, you don't make money. So if it's 500 per pound and you got to get 6,000, it's 3,000 that you're paying for the fuel, which means that you're really not making any money with this aircraft unless you pay less than 500 for your fuel. So the ATRs do well. So you see, I'm getting 87,000. Remember, the planes only cost like 122. So in 2 flights, and if you're paying 500, you're paying 24,000 for the fuel. In 2 flights, you're approaching breaking even. So these ATRs are good aircraft. Literally in one day, you can break even on this aircraft with something like an IL 96-400. Make a lot of money. See how it says 3 million? My best was 3.2 million, but it takes like 10 days, 5 to 10 days to break even because you're making 6.4 per day. You're making about 6 million per day. It takes 7 days minimum to break even just to pay for the aircraft. So makes a ton of money, but you got to wait for that break even point. Okay, so that's my update about what's going on with Airline Manager 4. So one of the other things that I did was I did all the A checks for every airplane up to 150 hours, because after 150 hours, it wouldn't let me do anymore, to see if it impacted my reputation, and it did. I believe my reputation went up by 1%. I checked before and after, and then I did all the A checks, and I did the maintenance 10% and over, and my reputation increased by, I believe it was 1%, possibly 2%, I don't remember. Okay, so if you keep a maintained fleet, it was expensive. It cost me like 122 million to do it. If you have any questions or comments, please post below. Don't forget to go to cheapbooks.cc, look for Airline Manager 4 or search for it over here, and you can see the forum with all of my posts, which are quite technical in nature. Or go to video-game-news.com and look for the Airline Manager 4 section.